Abandon. I abandon my fears to embrace a new adventure. Abbreviate. I'll abbreviate the report to save time and space. Abundant. The garden is abundant with colorful flowers. Accelerate. Step on the gas pedal to accelerate the car. Accommodate. The hotel can accommodate up to 200 guests. Accurate. Her predictions turned out to be surprisingly accurate. Achieve. With hard work, you can achieve your dreams. Acquire. He worked diligently to acquire new skills. Adapt. To survive, animals must adapt to their environment. Adequate. The amount of food we have is adequate for the trip. Admire. I admire her dedication and perseverance. Adolescent. The adolescent is going through significant changes. Advocate. She's always been an advocate for human rights. Affection. They show their affection for each other with warm hugs. Aggressive. His aggressive approach led to conflicts. Aid. The organization provided aid to the disaster victims. Alleviate. The medicine helped alleviate the pain. Ally. They formed an alliance to face the common enemy. Alter. She decided to alter her appearance with a new hairstyle. Ambitious. He has ambitious plans for his career. Ample. There is ample evidence to support the theory. Analyze. Scientists will analyze the data to draw conclusions. Ancient. The artifacts belong to an ancient civilization. Anecdote. He shared a humorous anecdote from his childhood. Anticipate. I anticipate a great time at the party. Anxiety. The upcoming exam causes me anxiety. Apparent. Her happiness was apparent to everyone. Appropriate. Please wear appropriate attire for the occasion. Arrogant. He always acts in an arrogant manner. Articulate. She can articulate her thoughts clearly and eloquently. Ascend. We will ascend to the mountain peak at dawn. Assert. She had to assert her authority as the leader. Assess. The teacher will assess the student's performance. Assign. The teacher will assign homework for tonight. Assist. The lifeguard quickly came to assist the struggling swimmer. Attain. Through hard work, she was able to attain her goals. Attribute. They attribute their success to teamwork. Authentic. The painting was confirmed to be an authentic masterpiece. Authorize. The manager will authorize the purchase of new equipment. Autonomous. The robot can perform tasks autonomously. Awe. The majestic scenery left us in awe. Barrier. A language barrier made communication difficult. Base. His decision was based on careful consideration. Behalf. I'm here on behalf of the organizing committee. Benefit. Exercising regularly brings numerous health benefits. Bewilder. The complex puzzle bewildered everyone. Bias. The judge must remain impartial and avoid bias. Bizarre. The movie had a bizarre plot twist. Blatant. He made a blatant attempt to deceive others. Bountiful. The harvest brought a bountiful supply of crops. Boycott. People decided to boycott the company's products. Calculate. She needed to calculate the total expenses. Candid. He gave a candid response to the question. Capacity. The stadium has a seating capacity of 50,000. Capable. She proved herself capable of handling the task. Captivate. The captivating story held the audience's attention. Carefree. During the vacation, they enjoyed a carefree atmosphere. Celebrate. We will celebrate our achievements with a party. Challenge. He accepted the challenge to climb the highest peak. Charisma. Her charisma made her a natural leader. Cite. Please cite your sources in the research paper. Civilized. Their society has evolved into a civilized community. Clarify. He asked for clarification on the confusing instructions. Coherent. The presentation was clear and coherent. Collaborate. The two companies will collaborate on a new project. Colleague. He works closely with his colleagues. Committed. She is committed to making a positive impact. Communicate. We must communicate effectively to resolve the issue. Compassion. Her compassion for others is truly inspiring. Competent. The team is competent in handling complex tasks. Compose. She will compose a beautiful melody for the song. Comprehensive. The book provides a comprehensive overview of the topic. Concede. He had to concede defeat in the argument. Conclude. The detective will conclude the investigation soon. Concur. The experts concur on the best approach. Condemn. They condemn all forms of discrimination. Conduct. The conductor will lead the orchestra's performance. Confide. She felt comfortable enough to confide in her friend. Confirm. Please confirm your attendance at the event. Confuse. The instructions were unclear and confused everyone. Conscientious. She is a conscientious worker, always giving her best. Consequence. The consequence of his actions was severe. Consistent. He is consistent in his efforts to improve. Construct. They will construct a new building on the site. Contribute. Everyone can contribute to the community in some way. Controversy. The article sparked a controversy among readers. Convenient. The location is convenient for public transportation. Convey. Use body language to convey your feelings. Copious. The artist had a copious amount of paintings. Correspond. The data should correspond to the graph. Credible. The witness provided a credible account of the incident. Culminate. The concert will culminate with a grand finale. Cultivate. He worked hard to cultivate good relationships. Cumbersome. The heavy suitcase was cumbersome to carry. Cynical. He had a cynical view of politics. Deceive. She tried to deceive him with false information. Deceptive. The appearance of the treasure was deceptive. Defend. The lawyer will defend his client in court. Deficient. The report highlighted the deficient areas. Deft. She showed a deft handling of the situation. Degrade. The harsh criticism can degrade someone's self-esteem. Deliberate. They need to deliberate on the best course of action. Delicate. Handle the fragile item with delicate care. Demonstrate. He will demonstrate the proper technique. Denounce. They denounce all forms of violence. Depict. The painting beautifully depicts a serene landscape. Derive. The team will derive solutions from the data. Desolate. The abandoned house looks desolate. Despise. She couldn't help but despise her dishonesty. Deter. The warning signs should deter trespassers. Detrimental. The pollution has a detrimental effect on the environment. Deviate. She chose to deviate from the traditional path. Devotion. Their devotion to each other is heartwarming. Differentiate. The colors help differentiate the different sections. Diligent. She is diligent in her studies and work. Diminish. The resources are starting to diminish. Discern. It is hard to discern the truth from the lies. Discipline. The coach instills discipline in the team. Discreet. He handled the sensitive matter in a discreet manner. Discrimination. We must fight against all forms of discrimination. Dismiss. The judge will dismiss the case due to lack of evidence. Dispel. He tried to dispel the rumors about him. Dispute. They had a heated dispute over the property. Disrupt. The loud noise can disrupt concentration. Dissent. There was dissent among the members on the decision. Distinguish. Her unique style helps distinguish her from others. Diverse. The school has a diverse student population. Dominate. The team hopes to dominate the upcoming match. Drastic. They made a drastic change to the plan. Durable. The sturdy material ensures a durable product. Dwelling. Their dwelling is nestled in a beautiful valley. Dynamic. The city has a dynamic and lively atmosphere. Ecstatic. She was ecstatic when she got the job offer. Edible. Make sure the mushrooms are edible before eating them. Elaborate. She will elaborate on her findings during the presentation. Elusive. The answer to the question remains elusive. Eminent. The renowned scientist received an eminent award. Emphasize. The teacher will emphasize the key points in the lesson. Empower. Education can empower individuals to change their lives. Encounter, they had an unexpected encounter on their trip. Endorse, the celebrity will endorse the new product. Endure, the marathon runners must endure the long race. Engage, the speaker will engage the audience with interactive activities. Enhance, adding spices can enhance the flavor of the dish. Enigma, the mysterious object is an enigma. Enormous, the elephant is an enormous animal. Ensure, please ensure all doors are locked before leaving. Entertain, the comedian will entertain the audience with jokes. Enthusiasm, his enthusiasm for the project is contagious. Entity, the company is a separate legal entity. Envision, she can envision a bright future for herself. Erode, the river slowly erodes the riverbank. Esteem, he held her in high esteem for her achievements. Ethical, they strive to maintain high ethical standards. Evaluate, the teacher will evaluate the student's performance. Evolve, over time, species evolve to adapt to their environment. Exaggerate, he tends to exaggerate his accomplishments. Exceed, the product's sales exceeded all expectations. Excel, she continues to excel in her chosen field. Exclude, the invitation specifically excludes children. Exemplify, the poem exemplifies the beauty of nature. Exhaust, the long journey can exhaust even the most seasoned traveler. Expand, the company plans to expand its operations. Expose, the journalist will expose the corruption in the government. Extend, please extend the deadline for the project. Extravagant, the wedding was an extravagant affair. Facilitate, the new software will facilitate data analysis. Familiarize, she needs to familiarize herself with the new software. Fathom, it's hard to fathom the depths of the ocean. Feasible, the project is feasible with the available resources. Fickle, her moods are fickle and unpredictable. Fluctuate, the stock market prices fluctuate daily. Flourish, with proper care, the plants will flourish. Foster, the organization works to foster a sense of community. Frivolous, the lawsuit was dismissed as frivolous. Fulfill, he worked hard to fulfill his dreams. Fundamental, the concept is fundamental to understanding the theory. Galvanize, the inspiring speech galvanized the crowd into action. Generate, the wind turbines generate electricity. Genuine, his smile was genuine and heartfelt. Gracious, she extended a gracious invitation to the event. Gratify, the achievement will gratify his sense of accomplishment. Grim, the situation took a grim turn. Guarantee, the company offers a money-back guarantee. Harness, he learned to harness the power of the sun. Harmony, the music created a sense of harmony and peace. Haughty, her haughty attitude offended many. Hesitate, don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions. Hinder, the lack of resources can hinder progress. Homogeneous, the group is relatively homogeneous in terms of interests. Humane, the organization advocates for humane treatment of animals. Humble, despite his success, he remains humble. Humiliate, she didn't want to humiliate her opponent. Hypothesize, the scientists will hypothesize about the outcome. Idealistic, she has an idealistic view of a better world. Ignite, the match will ignite the firewood. Illuminate, the streetlights will illuminate the dark alley. Illustrate, the graph will illustrate the data trends. Immense, the canyon's beauty was immense. Impartial, the judge will remain impartial during the trial. Impede, the heavy traffic will impede our progress. Imperative, it's imperative that we find a solution quickly. Impose, the government decided to impose new regulations. Impressive, her artwork was truly impressive. Incite, his speech incited a passionate response from the crowd. Incline, the path will incline steeply towards the summit. Incorporate, we will incorporate the latest technology into our design. Indifferent, He seemed indifferent to the outcome of the game. Induce. The medicine will induce sleep. Infer. Based on the evidence, we can infer that he's guilty. Influence. Her words have the power to influence people's opinions. Inhibit. Nervousness can inhibit your ability to perform. Initiative. She took the initiative to start the community project. Innovative. The company is known for its innovative products. Inquire. Feel free to inquire about any details you need. Insightful. Her analysis provided insightful perspectives. Inspire. The speech will inspire hope and courage. Instigate. He was accused of trying to instigate a fight. Integrate. The new software will integrate seamlessly with the existing system. Integrity. She is known for her honesty and integrity. Intense. The heat during the summer can be intense. Interact. Children should learn to interact with others respectfully. Interpret. The artist's paintings are open to interpretation. Intervene. The teacher had to intervene to stop the argument. Intricate. The lacework had an intricate pattern. Intuitive. She has an intuitive understanding of people's feelings. Invoke. He invoked the spirits of his ancestors. Irrelevant. His comment was completely irrelevant to the discussion. Isolate. The scientist will isolate the bacteria for study. Jeopardize. His reckless behavior could jeopardize the mission. Justify. She tried to justify her actions, but it was difficult. Keen. He has a keen interest in photography. Lament. She lamented the loss of her favorite book. Lavish. The wealthy couple had a lavish lifestyle. Lethargic. The hot weather made her feel lethargic. Liable. He is liable for the damage caused by his negligence. Liberate. The army helped liberate the town from oppression. Limitation. The lack of funds is a limitation for the project. Linger. The sweet scent of flowers lingered in the air. Loathe. She loathed the idea of working late. Lucrative. Investing in the stock market can be lucrative. Malicious. His malicious actions hurt many people. Manifest. Her dreams began to manifest in real life. Meager. He received a meager amount of food. Mediate. The mediator will help resolve the conflict. Melancholy. The rainy weather brought a feeling of melancholy. Merge. The two companies decided to merge their operations. Mimic. He can mimic the voices of famous actors. Minute. The small details can have a minute impact. Mitigate. Efforts are being made to mitigate the effects of climate change. Modify. He will modify the design based on the feedback. Multitude. A multitude of stars filled the night sky. Mythical. The unicorn is a mythical creature. Necessitate. The complexity of the task necessitates careful planning. Negate. His argument failed to negate the evidence. Neglect. The neglected garden became overgrown with weeds. Nimble. The gymnast showed nimble moves on the balance beam. Nostalgia. The old photograph brought back feelings of nostalgia. Notorious. The criminal was notorious for his violent acts. Nurture. Parents must nurture their children's talents. Oblige. He felt obliged to help his friend in need. Obscure. The meaning of the ancient text remains obscure. Obtain. She managed to obtain a rare artifact. Obvious. The answer to the riddle was obvious. Omit. Please do not omit any important details. Opportune. The timely arrival of the ambulance was opportune. Optimistic. Despite the challenges, she remained optimistic. Overcome. She managed to overcome her fear of heights. Overwhelm. The sheer number of tasks overwhelmed him. Paradox. The situation was a paradox, with conflicting results. Participate. Everyone is encouraged to participate in the event. Passive. Her passive attitude led to missed opportunities. Perception. Her perception of the situation was accurate. Persevere. Despite setbacks, she persevered in achieving her goals. Pervasive. The influence of social media is pervasive in modern society. Plausible. The detective considered several plausible theories. Ponder. He needed time to ponder the decision. Pragmatic. She took a pragmatic approach to problem solving. Precise. The instructions must be precise to avoid mistakes. Predicament. The unexpected situation left him in a predicament. Prejudice. We must fight against prejudice and discrimination. Prevalent. The disease is prevalent in certain regions. Prioritize. We need to prioritize our tasks to meet the deadline. Proclaim. The mayor will proclaim the city's achievements. Proficient. She became proficient in playing the piano. Prohibit. The law prohibits smoking in public places. Prolific. The artist is known for her prolific output. Prominent. The building is a prominent landmark in the city. Provoke. His rude behavior will provoke anger in others. Punctual. Please be punctual for the meeting. Pursue. He will pursue his dream of becoming a musician. Qualify. She worked hard to qualify for the competition. Quench. Drink water to quench your thirst. Rapport. The teacher established a good rapport with her students. Rationale. He explained the rationale behind his decision. Reap. You will reap the rewards of your hard work. Reckless. His reckless driving endangered others. Rectify. We must rectify the mistakes made in the report. Reflect. The lake's surface reflects the clear blue sky. Refute. The scientist will refute the false claims. Relentless. She showed relentless determination to succeed. Relevant. Please provide only relevant information for the report. Reluctant. He was reluctant to share his personal story. Reminisce. Old friends reminisced about their school days. Renounce. He decided to renounce his former beliefs. Repress. She tried to repress her emotions. Repudiate. The politician repudiated the false accusations. Resilient. The team showed a resilient spirit after defeat. Resolve. She made a resolution to improve her health. Respectable. He is known for his respectable behavior. Restrain. They had to restrain the aggressive dog. Retain. The company will retain its top employees. Retrieve. He managed to retrieve the lost documents. Reveal. The magician will reveal the hidden object. Revoke. The court will revoke his license. Rigid. Her strict schedule left no room for flexibility. Ruthless. The ruthless dictator oppressed the people. Saturate. The rain will saturate the soil. Scorn. Her scornful remark hurt his feelings. Seclude. The retreat is designed to seclude participants from distractions. Sedentary. Her sedentary lifestyle led to health problems. Seize. He will seize the opportunity when it arises. Sensible. Her sensible advice helped him make the right choice. Serene. The peaceful lake offered a serene view. Sever. The accident caused the cable to sever. Shatter. The vase fell and shattered into pieces. Significant. The discovery was significant for medical research. Simulate. The pilot will simulate an emergency landing. Skeptical. He remained skeptical about the new proposal. Solemn. The ceremony was conducted in a solemn manner. Solitude. She enjoys the solitude of the countryside. Spontaneous. They made a spontaneous decision to go on a road trip. Stagnant. The water in the pond became stagnant. Stimulate. The caffeine in the coffee will stimulate your senses. Strive. He will strive to achieve his personal best. Subdue. The police had to subdue the violent protesters. Substantiate. He will present evidence to substantiate his claims. Subtle. The change was subtle but noticeable. Suppress. The government tried to suppress dissent. Surpass. She worked hard to surpass her previous achievements. Susceptible. He is susceptible to allergies. Sustain. Efforts are needed to sustain economic growth. Tactful. She handled the sensitive situation with tact. Tedious. The repetitive task became tedious after a while. Tenacious. Her tenacious spirit helped her overcome obstacles. Thrive. The business began to thrive after the expansion. Tolerate. We should not tolerate any form of discrimination. Tranquil. The garden provided a tranquil space to relax. Transparent. The company aims to be transparent in its dealings. Tremendous. The earthquake caused tremendous damage. Trivial. He dismissed the issue as trivial. Tyranny. The people rebelled against the tyranny of the ruler. Ultimate. The ultimate goal is to achieve world peace. Unanimous. The decision was unanimous among the committee members. Unconventional. Her unconventional approach to art was inspiring. Undermine. The leaked information will undermine their plans. Underscore. The data will underscore the importance of the findings. Unique. Each snowflake is unique in its design. Unprecedented. The pandemic brought about unprecedented challenges. Unveil. The company will unveil its latest product. Validate. The experiment will validate the hypothesis. Vast. The desert stretches as vast as the eye can see. Venerate. The ancient temple is venerated by locals. Verbalize. It's important to verbalize your feelings. Versatile. She is a versatile actress who can perform various roles. Vibrant. The city's nightlife is vibrant and lively. Vigorous. Regular exercise promotes a vigorous lifestyle. Vindicate. The evidence will vindicate his innocence. Vital. Sleep is vital for our overall well-being. Vulnerable. The endangered species is vulnerable to extinction. Wary. Be wary of strangers offering unsolicited help. Weary. After a long journey, they were feeling weary. Whimsical. The whimsical artwork was full of imagination. Widespread. The disease is widespread in the region. Withstand. The bridge can withstand strong winds. Wretched. The refugees lived in wretched conditions. Zealous. He was a zealous supporter of the cause. Absurd. The absurd situation left everyone speechless. Abundance. The garden had an abundance of fresh vegetables. Accomplish. With determination, you can accomplish your goals. Accusation. He denied the false accusation against him. Acquirement. The rare book was a valuable acquirement. Adequacy. She questioned the adequacy of their preparations. Adorn. The room was adorned with colorful decorations. Adversary. The team faced a tough adversary in the final match. Advocate. She is a passionate advocate for animal rights. Afflict. The disease could afflict anyone. Agile. The gymnast showcased her agile moves. Agitate. The protest began to agitate the authorities. Allude. She alluded to a secret from her past. Amass. He worked hard to amass wealth. Amiable. His amiable nature made him popular. Animate. The animation brought the characters to life. Anticipate. We eagerly anticipate the upcoming event. Anticipatory. His anticipatory excitement was palpable. Apathy. Her apathy towards the cause disappointed others. Apprehend. The police managed to apprehend the suspect. Arbitrary. The decision seemed arbitrary and unfair. Aristocracy. The aristocracy enjoyed privileges and power. Assertion. His assertion was met with skepticism. Astound. Her talent for singing will astound you. Attribute. He didn't want to attribute his success solely to luck. Authentic. The antique was confirmed to be authentic. Awkward. He felt awkward in social situations. Baffle. The puzzle's complexity continued to baffle them. Barren. The barren landscape offered no signs of life. Barter. In the past, people would barter goods for services. Behold. Behold the magnificent view from the mountaintop. Belittle. She would often belittle her colleagues' ideas. Beneficial. Regular exercise is beneficial for overall health. Blunt. His blunt remarks offended some people. Boycott. The protesters decided to boycott the company's products. Bravery. His bravery in facing danger was commendable. Burden. The heavy load became a burden for him. Candid. She gave a candid account of her experiences. Catalyst, the new discovery acted as a catalyst for change. Cease, the rain will cease in the afternoon. Censor, the government censored the controversial movie. Chaos, the riot resulted in chaos on the streets. Chronological, the events were presented in chronological order. Circumstance, the outcome depends on the circumstances. Clarity, her explanation provided clarity on the matter. Cliché, the movie was full of clichés. Coarse, the rough texture of the fabric felt coarse. Coherent, his argument was clear and coherent. Coincide, their birthdays coincide on the same day. Collaborate, they decided to collaborate on a joint project. Colossal, the building was a colossal structure. Combustible, the material was highly combustible. Commemorate, the event was held to commemorate the fallen soldiers. Commence, the meeting will commence at 3 p.m. Compatible, the software is compatible with various devices. Complement, the flavors complemented each other perfectly. Comprehend, it's difficult to comprehend the complexity of the issue. Compromise, they reached a compromise on the terms. Conceal, he tried to conceal his emotions. Conceive, the idea to start a new business was conceived last year. Concentrate, he asked everyone to concentrate on the task. Conclude, the judge will conclude the trial soon. Concur, the committee members all concurred with the decision. Condense, the article needed to be condensed for the magazine. Condescend, she didn't like to condescend to others. Confer, the council will confer the award on the winner. Confess, he finally mustered the courage to confess his feelings. Confine, the guests were confined to the main hall. Conform, she refused to conform to society's expectations. Confront, he needed to confront his fears to move forward. Confuse, the conflicting instructions confused the participants. Congregate, the people will congregate in the town square. Conquer, they managed to conquer the challenging task. Conscientious, she is a conscientious worker who takes her job seriously. Consequence, every action has a consequence. Conserve, we should conserve water to protect the environment. Considerate, her considerate nature made her popular among her friends. Consolidate, the company decided to consolidate its various departments. Constitute, the two ingredients constitute the main recipe. Contemplate, she sat by the river to contemplate her future. Contend, the team will contend for the championship. Contradict, the witness's statement seemed to contradict the evidence. Contrary, his actions were contrary to his words. Controversial, the new policy was controversial among the citizens. Convene, the committee will convene to discuss the issue. Conventional, the traditional approach is more conventional. Convey, he used body language to convey his message. Conviction, she spoke with conviction and determination. Covert, the covert operation remained a secret. Crafty, the crafty fox managed to steal the chickens. Crave, he would often crave sweets after dinner. Credible, the witness provided credible evidence. Creep, the spider began to creep along the wall. Cringe, she couldn't help but cringe at the embarrassing memory. Critical, the situation was critical and required immediate action. Cumbersome, the large suitcase was cumbersome to carry. Cynical, he had a cynical view of politics. Dearth, the drought led to a dearth of crops. Debatable, the topic is debatable. With valid points on both sides. Deceive, he tried to deceive his friends with a prank. Decipher, the ancient script was difficult to decipher. Deduce, from the clues. She managed to deduce the solution. Deficiency, the deficiency in nutrients affected his health. Deliberate, the decision was a deliberate one, carefully thought out. Delusion, his belief in his own invincibility was a delusion. Demise, the king's demise led to a period of mourning. Depict, the painting depicts a beautiful landscape. Derive. The author derived inspiration from her travels. Desolate. The abandoned house stood in a desolate area. Despise. She couldn't help but despise her dishonest colleague. Deter. The warning signs will deter trespassers. Detest. He detests any form of injustice. Deviate. He chose to deviate from the usual path. Devotion. Her devotion to her family was admirable. Dilemma. She faced a dilemma when deciding between two job offers. Diligent. The diligent student always completed her assignments on time. Diminish. The power outage caused the lights to diminish. Discharge. The battery will discharge after extended use. Disclose. He decided to disclose the truth about the incident. Discrepancy. There was a discrepancy between the two reports. Discrete. The two events are discrete and unrelated. Disgrace. His actions brought disgrace upon his family. Disintegrate. Over time, the old building began to disintegrate. Dismiss. He decided to dismiss the employee for repeated misconduct. Disparage. She would often disparage her competitors' products. Disperse. The crowd began to disperse after the event ended. Displace. The construction will displace several families from their homes. Dispose. He will dispose of the waste responsibly. Disrupt. The loud noise will disrupt the meeting. Dissent. Some members of the group expressed their dissenting opinions. Dissipate. The fog will gradually dissipate as the sun rises. Distinctive. Her distinctive style made her stand out in the crowd. Distort. The funhouse mirrors distorted their reflections. Diverse. The group was diverse, representing various cultures. Divert. The diversion on the road caused a traffic jam. Divine. The priest claimed to have a divine vision. Divulge. He decided to divulge the secret to his best friend. Docile. The docile puppy followed its owner obediently. Domain. The forest was the domain of many wild animals. Drastic. They had to take drastic measures to address the crisis. Drowsy. The warm weather made her feel drowsy. Dubious. His claim seemed dubious and lacked evidence. Duration. The duration of the movie was 2 hours. Eager. She was eager to start her new job. Eccentric. The eccentric artist had a unique way of dressing. Elicit. The question will elicit different responses from the audience. Elongate. The elastic band can elongate to twice its original length. Elusive. The elusive fox was hard to catch. Embody. Her actions embody the values she believes in. Emerge. The butterfly will emerge from its cocoon. Empathy. Her empathy towards others made her a great counselor. Encroach. The construction will encroach upon the park's green space. Endorse. The celebrity will endorse the new brand of perfume. Enigma. The mysterious disappearance remained an enigma. Enrage. His rude behavior will enrage anyone. Enrich. The experience will enrich their understanding. Enthusiasm. Her enthusiasm for the project was contagious. Enumerate. He will enumerate the steps to follow. Erratic. The weather has been erratic lately. Esteem. She held him in high esteem for his achievements. Ethical. He always followed ethical principles in his work. Evade. The suspect managed to evade the police. Exaggerate. He tends to exaggerate his accomplishments. Exasperate. The constant delays began to exasperate everyone. Exceptional. Her exceptional talent impressed everyone. Excerpt. He read an excerpt from his latest book. Exclaim. She couldn't help but exclaim in excitement. Exclusive. The boutique offers exclusive designer clothing. Execute. They will execute the plan with precision. Exempt. The children were exempt from paying the entrance fee. Exhaustive. The research provided an exhaustive analysis of the topic. Exhilarating. The roller coaster ride was exhilarating. Expand. The company plans to expand its operations globally. Expend. They will expend a lot of effort to complete the project. Expertise. Her expertise in the subject was unmatched. Exploit. The company will exploit new markets for growth. Exquisite. The jewelry had an exquisite design. Extensive. The library has an extensive collection of books. Extravagant. The party had an extravagant theme. Facilitate. The new software will facilitate data analysis. Fathom. He couldn't fathom the reason for her sudden departure. Feasible. The project seemed feasible within the given timeframe. Fickle. Her fickle nature made it hard to predict her decisions. Flawless. Her performance was flawless and impressive. Flexibility. The company values flexibility in its work policies. Fluctuate. The stock prices fluctuate regularly. Foolish. His foolish actions led to serious consequences. Foresee. He could foresee potential problems with the plan. Forfeit. They had to forfeit the game due to injuries. Fortitude. Her fortitude helped her endure difficult times. Frantic. The parents were frantic when their child went missing. Frugal. She was frugal and saved money diligently. Fundamental. Understanding the basics is fundamental to learning. Furtive. He cast a furtive glance at the closed door. Futile. Their efforts to repair the old car proved futile. Gala. The gala event was attended by celebrities. Gaze. They gazed at the stars in awe. Glee. The children were filled with glee on Christmas morning. Glimpse. I caught a glimpse of her in the crowd. Glorious. The sunrise painted the sky in glorious colors. Grandeur. The palace's grandeur impressed visitors. Grateful. She was grateful for the support she received. Grievance. He filed a grievance against his unfair treatment. Grimace. The sharp pain made him grimace. Gruesome. The horror movie had gruesome scenes. Guidance. He sought guidance from a mentor for his career. Hamper. The heavy rain will hamper outdoor activities. Hardy. The plant is hardy and can withstand harsh conditions. Haughty. His haughty attitude made him unpopular. Hazard. The slippery road posed a hazard to drivers. Heed. She ignored the warning and didn't heed the advice. Hesitate. He hesitated before making his decision. Hinder. The lack of resources will hinder progress. Hone. He practiced daily to hone his skills. Humble. Despite his success, he remained humble. Hybrid. The car is a hybrid model, combining gas and electric power. Hypocrisy. His speeches about honesty were filled with hypocrisy. Hypothetical. He presented a hypothetical scenario for discussion. Ignorance. Her ignorance about the topic was evident. Illuminate. The candles will illuminate the room. Illusion. The magic show created an illusion of disappearing objects. Illustrate. She used diagrams to illustrate the concept. Immaculate. Her house was always immaculate and tidy. Immense. The mountain stood tall with its immense height. Impair. The accident will impair his ability to walk. Impartial. The judge was known for being impartial in her decisions. Impede. The heavy traffic will impede our progress. Impenetrable. The fortress had an impenetrable defense. Imperative. It's imperative that we act quickly. Impersonal. His email response felt impersonal and cold. Implement. The company will implement new policies. Implicate. The evidence will implicate the suspect in the crime. Impose. The government decided to impose new regulations. Impractical. The idea seemed impractical and unlikely to work. Impulse. He acted on an impulse without thinking. Incessant. The incessant rain continued for days. Incline. The hill will incline steeply towards the summit. Incoherent. Her speech became incoherent due to nervousness. Incompatible. The two software programs were incompatible. Inconceivable. The idea of time travel seemed inconceivable. Inconclusive. The study results were inconclusive and required further research. Inconvenience. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Incorporate. The company will incorporate customer feedback into the product. Indicate, the map will indicate the route to follow. Indifferent, he seemed indifferent to the outcome of the game. Induce, the medicine will induce sleep. Indulge, she liked to indulge in luxurious spa treatments. Inevitable, the meeting's cancellation was inevitable due to the storm. Infer, from his tone, she could infer that he was upset. Inflict, the war will inflict suffering on innocent civilians. Infuriate, his rude behavior will infuriate anyone. Ingenious, her ingenious solution impressed everyone. Inherent, the risk of injury is inherent in extreme sports. Inhibit, the fear of failure can inhibit creativity. Initiative, he took the initiative to organize the event. Innovative, the company is known for its innovative products. Inquiry, they received numerous inquiries about the new service. Inquisitive, the inquisitive child asked many questions. Insidious, the disease had an insidious progression. Insight, his insights into the issue were valuable. Inspire, her courage and determination inspired others. Instigate, the rumor will instigate conflict between the groups. Integrity, he is known for his integrity and honesty. Intensify, the storm will intensify in the coming hours. Intent, the letter's intent was to express gratitude. Interact, the students interacted with the guest speaker. Interpret, the artist will interpret the theme in her painting. Intricate, the artwork featured an intricate design. Intrigue, the mysterious plot intrigued the readers. Intuition, her intuition often guided her decisions. Invoke, she will invoke ancient rituals for good luck. Irony, the irony of the situation was not lost on him. Irrelevant, his comment was irrelevant to the topic of discussion. Jeopardize, his reckless behavior could jeopardize his career. Jovial, his jovial personality brought laughter to the room. Justify, he tried to justify his actions with reasoning. Keen, the detective had a keen eye for details. Kindle, the book will kindle a love for adventure. Lavish, the party had a lavish spread of food. Lecture, the professor will deliver a lecture on history. Lenient, the judge was lenient in his sentencing. Lethargic, the heat made everyone feel lethargic. Levy, the government will levy a tax on luxury items. Liability, the company had to address the liability issue. Liberate, the soldiers will liberate the captured town. Loathe, he loathed the idea of public speaking. Lucrative, the business venture turned out to be lucrative. Lure, the colorful display will lure customers into the store. Magnitude, the earthquake measured 7.5 on the Richter scale. Malicious, her malicious intent was evident from her actions. Marvel, the breathtaking view was a marvel to behold. Meager, he received only a meager portion of food. Mediate, the mediator will help resolve the dispute. Melancholy, the melancholy melody evoked memories of the past. Meticulous, the painter was meticulous in her brushstrokes. Mimic, he could mimic the voices of famous actors. Mingle, the guests will mingle at the party. Mitigate, the measures will mitigate the impact of the disaster. Modify, he will modify the design to meet the requirements. Monotonous, the repetitive task became monotonous after a while. Multiplicity, the store offered a multiplicity of products. Negate, the study will negate the previous findings. Neglect, the abandoned house showed signs of neglect. Niche, the small cafe filled a niche in the market. Notion, her notion of success was different from others. Notorious, the town was notorious for its crime rate. Novelty, the new gadget was a novelty in the market. Nuance, the poem was full of subtle nuances. Nullify, the contract will nullify any previous agreements. Oblige, she felt obliged to help her friend. Obscure, the meaning of the ancient text remained obscure. Obsolete, the old computer became obsolete and slow. Omit, he accidentally omitted an important detail. Opportune, The opportune moment for action had arrived. Optimal. The optimal solution would be cost-effective. Optimize. The software will optimize the performance of the system. Overcome. He managed to overcome his fear of heights. Overwhelm. The sheer number of tasks overwhelmed her. Palpable. The tension in the room was palpable. Paradox. The situation presented a paradoxical dilemma. Paraphrase. She will paraphrase the content in her own words. Parity. The teams were of equal parity. Passionate. Her passionate speech moved the audience. Perceive. She could perceive the subtle changes in his mood. Perplex. The complicated instructions perplexed the students. Persevere. Despite challenges, she will persevere to achieve her goals. Pervasive. The scent of flowers was pervasive in the garden. Plausible. His explanation seemed plausible and reasonable. Pledge. He made a pledge to support the cause. Poignant. The movie had a poignant ending that moved many to tears. Ponder. He took a moment to ponder the question. Potent. The medicine had a potent effect on his symptoms. Preamble. The treaty began with a preamble stating its purpose. Precaution. As a precaution, he wore a helmet while cycling. Precise. She provided precise measurements for the project. Predicament. The unexpected delay put them in a predicament. Prejudice. The jury was warned not to let prejudice influence their decision. Prerequisite. The course had a prerequisite, a basic knowledge in mathematics. Presume. He didn't want to presume anything without evidence. Prevail. Despite the challenges, they managed to prevail. Profound. His speech had a profound impact on the audience. Profusely. She thanked the guests profusely for their support. Prohibit. The sign indicated that smoking was prohibited. Prolific. The artist was prolific, producing numerous paintings. Prominent. The building's prominent location made it a landmark. Propel. The engine will propel the boat forward. Proprietor. He is the proprietor of the small business. Prudent. The prudent decision was to save money for the future. Punctual. He is known for being punctual and never arriving late. Query. The customer had a query about the product. Quirk. Her quirky sense of humor made her popular. Quota. The company set a quota for sales targets. Ramification. The decision had many ramifications on the project. Rationale. He explained the rationale behind his choice. Ravenous. The hikers were ravenous after the long trek. Reap. He will reap the rewards of his hard work. Rebuke. The teacher had to rebuke the student for misbehavior. Reclaim. The team will reclaim their championship title. Reconcile. They worked hard to reconcile their differences. Rectify. He quickly moved to rectify the mistake. Redundant. The extra information in the report was redundant. Refer. She will refer to the book for more information. Reflect. The mirror will reflect your image. Refrain. He tried to refrain from making rude comments. Refute. The scientist presented evidence to refute the theory. Regime. The new government regime brought about changes. Regulate. The government will regulate the industry to ensure fairness. Rehabilitate. The rehab center will help addicts rehabilitate. Reimburse. The company will reimburse travel expenses. Reinforce. He will reinforce the wall to make it stronger. Rejuvenate. The spa treatment will rejuvenate your skin. Relentless. Her relentless pursuit of perfection made her successful. Relevant. The information was relevant to the case. Reluctant. She was reluctant to accept the offer. Reminiscent. The song was reminiscent of her childhood. Renounce. He will renounce his claim to the throne. Repel. The strong smell will repel insects. Reproach. He received a reproach for his behavior. Repudiate. She will repudiate the false accusations. Repulse. The gruesome scene caused some to repulse. Resent. He couldn't help but resent his brother's success. Resilient. The team remained resilient despite setbacks. Resolute. She was resolute in achieving her goals. Resolve. The two parties worked to resolve their conflicts. Respectable. Her respectable achievements earned her admiration. Respond. He will respond to the inquiry promptly. Restrain. The officers had to restrain the unruly crowd. Restrict. The new law will restrict certain activities. Retrieve. He will retrieve the lost documents. Reveal. The magician will reveal his final trick. Revere. The community will revere their leader. Revoke. The court decided to revoke his license. Rigorous. The rigorous training prepared them for the competition. Rouse. The motivational speech will rouse the audience. Sacrifice. She made a sacrifice for the sake of her family. Salient. The most salient point was highlighted in the presentation. Scorn. She scorned his insincere apology. Scrutinize. The investigators will scrutinize the evidence. Seldom. They seldom went out on weekdays. Seclude. He secluded himself to focus on his work. Seize. The police will seize the illegal goods. Sensible. The sensible decision was to save money for emergencies. Sentiment. His sentiment towards her had changed over time. Serene. The calm lake provided a serene view. Sever. The storm will sever power lines. Simulate. The flight simulator will simulate real flying conditions. Skeptical. She remained skeptical about his claims. Sluggish. The sluggish economy showed slow growth. Solemn. The event had a solemn atmosphere. Soothe. The gentle music will soothe your nerves. Sophisticated. The new software had a sophisticated design. Spontaneous. The spontaneous applause showed their appreciation. Squander. He squandered his fortune on gambling. Stagnant. The water in the pond was stagnant. Startle. The loud noise will startle the birds. Stimulate. The interactive game will stimulate learning. Strive. She will strive to achieve her dreams. Subdue. The officers had to subdue the violent suspect. Sublime. The sunset over the mountains was a sublime sight. Submerge. The submarine will submerge underwater. Substantiate. The evidence will substantiate the claim. Subtle. The painting had subtle shades of blue. Succinct. His succinct explanation was easy to understand. Suppress. He will suppress his anger in public. Surpass. Her talent will surpass all expectations. Surplus. The harvest yielded a surplus of fruits. Susceptible. Children are more susceptible to catching colds. Sustain. We need to sustain our efforts to protect the environment. Sympathize. She could sympathize with his difficult situation. Tactful. He handled the sensitive issue in a tactful manner. Tangible. The results of the experiment were tangible and measurable. Tedious. The long and tedious task drained their energy. Tenacious. Her tenacious spirit kept her going despite setbacks. Terminate. The company decided to terminate the employee's contract. Thrive. The business will thrive in the current market. Timid. She was too timid to speak in front of a large audience. Torment. His memories continue to torment him. Tread. He cautiously tread on the icy path. Tremendous. The concert received a tremendous response from the crowd. Trivial. She didn't want to waste time on trivial matters. Tyranny. The people rebelled against the tyranny of the ruler. Ultimate. The ultimate goal is to achieve world peace. Unanimous. The decision was made by a unanimous vote. Unbiased. The journalist remained unbiased in reporting the news. Unconventional. Her approach to problem solving was unconventional but effective. Undermine. His constant criticism will undermine her confidence. Underestimate. Never underestimate her determination to succeed. Underscore. The data underscored the importance of the research. Undeterred. He remained undeterred despite the challenges. Uniform. The students wore uniform clothing. Unique. Each snowflake is unique in its design. Unison. They sang in perfect unison. Unveil. the artist will unveil her latest masterpiece. Upheaval, the country faced political upheaval. Utilize, he will utilize his skills to complete the project. Validate, the evidence will validate her claims. Vast, the ocean is vast and full of mysteries. Vehement, he expressed his disagreement with a vehement gesture. Venerate, many people venerate their ancestors. Verbose, her writing style is often too verbose. Versatile, he is a versatile actor who can perform various roles. Vibrant, the city's nightlife is vibrant and exciting. Vigorous, she engaged in vigorous exercise to stay fit. Vilify, the tabloids tried to vilify the celebrity's character. Vindicate, the evidence vindicated him from all accusations. Vivid, her descriptions painted a vivid picture of the scenery. Vulnerable, the baby bird was vulnerable to predators. Wane, the moon's brightness will wane as the night progresses. Weary, the hikers were weary after a long day. Whimsical, her whimsical personality always brought smiles to people's faces. Widespread, the news of the disaster spread widespread panic. Withstand, the bridge was built to withstand strong winds. Wrath, the dragon unleashed its wrath on the kingdom. Zeal, she pursued her passion with great zeal. Zealous, the students were zealous in their support for the cause. Zenith, the artist reached the zenith of her career. Zestful, her zestful energy was contagious. Affable, he had an affable personality and made friends easily. Alleviate, the medication will alleviate the pain. Allure, the beautiful scenery had a magnetic allure. Ameliorate, her efforts will ameliorate the living conditions. Amplify, the speakers will amplify the sound for the concert. Annex, the country decided to annex the neighboring territory. Anoint, the priest will anoint a new king with holy oil. Antagonize, he didn't want to antagonize his co-workers. Appraise, the expert will appraise the antique's value. Arid, the desert has an arid climate with little rainfall. Ascertain, he needed more time to ascertain the truth. Aspire, she aspired to become a successful entrepreneur. Assimilate, the immigrants will assimilate into the new culture. Astute, his astute observations made him an excellent detective. Avert, the quick action averted a disaster. Belligerent, his belligerent behavior led to conflict. Blatant, the lie was a blatant attempt to deceive. Blunder, the team's blunder cost them the game. Brevity, her speech was praised for its brevity. Callous, his callous remarks hurt her feelings. Camaraderie, the camaraderie among teammates was strong. Cascade, the waterfall cascaded down the rocks. Cater, the restaurant will cater the event. Chronic, the patient suffered from a chronic illness. Cite, she will cite the relevant sources in her research. Coerce, he tried to coerce her into agreeing with him. Cohesive, the team's cohesive efforts led to success. Combat, they were prepared to combat any threats. Commend, the teacher will commend her students' hard work. Concede, he had to concede defeat in the debate. Concur, the committee members concurred on the decision. Condone, they cannot condone such behavior. Confide, she will confide in her best friend. Conformity, the school enforced strict conformity to the dress code. Confrontation, the confrontation between the two rivals was intense. Congenial, the congenial atmosphere made the party enjoyable. Connotation, the word had a negative connotation in that context. Conserve, we should conserve energy to protect the environment. Consistent, her performance was consistent throughout the season. Console, she tried to console her friend after the loss. Conspire, the group conspired to overthrow the government. Consummate, the couple's love was consummate and unconditional. Contend, the athletes will contend for the gold medal. Contentious, the contentious issue divided the community. Contrived, his excuse seemed contrived and insincere. Conveyance, The conveyance of the message was clear and concise. Conviction. She spoke with conviction and passion. Corroborate. The witness will corroborate the victim's statement. Cower. The frightened dog cowered in the corner. Cunning. Her cunning plan fooled everyone. Curtail. They had to curtail their expenses to save money. Dearth. The drought led to a dearth of crops. Debase. The scandal will debase his reputation. Decipher. He will decipher the ancient script. Deduct. The accountant will deduct the expenses from the income. Defiance. He showed defiance against authority. Delegate. The manager will delegate the tasks to the team members. Delude. His false promises will delude unsuspecting people. Denounce. The activist will denounce the injustice. Deny. He will deny any involvement in the crime. Deplete. The excessive use will deplete the resources. Deplore. She will deplore the use of violence. Depose. The military coup deposed the ruler. Derogatory. His derogatory comments offended many. Detract. His poor behavior will detract from his achievements. Devise. They will devise a strategy for the project. Diligence. Her diligence and hard work paid off. Diminish. The importance of the issue should not be diminished. Discord. The discord among the team members affected their performance. Discredit. The scandal will discredit the politician. Discreet. He was discreet in handling sensitive information. Discriminate. It is important not to discriminate against anyone. Disdain. His disdain for the arts was evident. Disentangle. She tried to disentangle herself from the complicated situation. Dismiss. The court will dismiss the case due to lack of evidence. Disparage. He shouldn't disparage others to make himself look better. Disperse. The crowd will disperse after the event. Dissent. The minority group voiced their dissent. Dissipate. The fog will gradually dissipate in the morning. Distort. The artist will distort reality to create an abstract painting. Distress. The distressing news shocked everyone. Divert. He tried to divert their attention from the issue. Divulge. She will divulge the secret to her best friend. Dominate. The team will dominate the match. Dubious. The validity of the claim seems dubious. Durable. The durable material will withstand wear and tear. Elaborate. He will elaborate on the details of the plan. Eloquent. Her eloquent speech captivated the audience. Elusive. The elusive criminal escaped capture. Emancipate. The laws helped emancipate the oppressed. Emphasize. The teacher will emphasize the importance of studying. Encroach. The construction will encroach on the park's space. Endure. She will endure the challenges and keep going. Enforce. The police will enforce the law. Enthrall. The thrilling story will enthrall readers. Enumerate. He will enumerate the reasons for his decision. Eradicate. The goal is to eradicate poverty. Erroneous. The erroneous information led to confusion. Esteem. She held him in high esteem. Evade. He will evade answering the question directly. Evoke. The painting will evoke strong emotions in viewers. Exaggerate. He tends to exaggerate his accomplishments. Exasperate. The repeated mistakes will exasperate the teacher. Exemplify. Her behavior will exemplify the values of the organization. Exhilarate. The thrilling ride will exhilarate the visitors. Exonerate. The evidence will exonerate the accused. Exploit. He will exploit the opportunity to his advantage. Extricate. They had to extricate themselves from the difficult situation. Fallible. As humans, we are all fallible and make mistakes. Feasible. The plan seemed feasible and practical. Feign. He will feign ignorance to avoid punishment. Ferocious. The ferocious tiger scared everyone. Fluctuate. The stock prices fluctuate daily. Foresee. She could foresee the potential risks. Forsake. He had to forsake his dreams for practical reasons. Fortify. They will fortify the city's defenses. Foster. the organization will foster creativity among children. Frivolous. The lawsuit was considered frivolous and was dismissed. Gaze. They will gaze at the stars in wonder. Gesticulate. The speaker gesticulated to emphasize his points. Glorify. The song will glorify the hero's deeds. Gracious. She gracefully accepted the compliment. Gratify. The achievement will gratify her ambition. Grieve. The family will grieve the loss of their loved one. Grotesque. The horror movie had grotesque scenes. Gruesome. The crime scene was gruesome and shocking. Hamper. The heavy rain will hamper their plans. Harass. The boss will harass the employees. Hesitate. She will hesitate before making a decision. Hinder. The lack of funding will hinder the project. Hone. He will hone his skills through practice. Illuminate. The bright lights will illuminate the stage. Illustrious. The illustrious scientist received many awards. Immerse. She will immerse herself in the study of marine life. Impartial. The judge remained impartial during the trial. Impede. The construction will impede traffic flow. Imperative. It is imperative to follow safety guidelines. Implement. The company will implement new policies. Impose. The government will impose a tax increase. Impoverish. The war will impoverish the nation. Imprudent. His imprudent decision led to disaster. Impulsive. He tends to make impulsive decisions without thinking. Incite. The provocative speech will incite unrest. Inclination. She had an inclination towards art from a young age. Incongruous. The mismatched colors looked incongruous. Inevitable. Change is inevitable, we cannot avoid it.